So Keith Edwards, he's a popular YouTuber. He had posted this on Threads, his disappointment that Kamala isn't out there fighting for us and she's out there selling a book. Well, the lady got to make some kind of money. Don't every vice president, president write a book or they do speeches? Like, the woman still has to make money. But also, too, why are you holding her to a different standard than everyone else? So Keith is like crying, not literally crying, but crying, whining, let's say whining about, oh, everybody's attacking me because of my race. And here we go, that little white fragility. Let's get into it, y'all. So in this clip, you're going to see how he's just glazing Gavin Newsom and then how he talks about Kamala. So we're going to go ahead and let the video play and we'll talk about it. But first, hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, all that good stuff. And let's get into it. You guys, you ready?
2028 and who meets that moment. And that's the question for the American people.
Is it fair to say after the 2026 midterms, you're going to give it serious thought?
Yeah, I'd be lying otherwise. I'd just be lying, and I can't do that.
Gavin Newsom saying now what many have believed for years. He may launch a presidential campaign for 2028. He said in this exclusive CBS interview he's still looking for his reason why.
Yeah, I think the biggest challenge for anyone who runs for any office is people see right through you if you don't have that.
Gavin has been positioning himself to run for president since 2024. Remember, he did that whole debate with Ron DeSantis, and it was like California versus Florida. I thought that was the weirdest thing ever. And literally, that was him positioning himself for the presidential run. But, you know, Biden ended up dropping out and then picking Kamala. So, again, he's been positioning himself since 2024 because he knew Biden was old. Let's be honest.
That's why. You're doing it for the wrong reasons.
You've been very clear that it's a possibility you might run again to become president.
Newsom's admission comes on the same weekend former vice president and Newsom friend Kamala Harris did not rule out her own campaign for president.
Could it be you? Possibly. Have you made a decision yet?
No, I have not.
A CBS poll shows of all California voters asked, 48% said Governor Newsom should run for president, while 72% of all California Democrats said he should. Harris's numbers showed of all California voters, 31% thought she should run for president, compared to 48% of California Democrats.
Yeah, so Gavin Newsom is...
So mind you, that was the Sacramento CBS. So at the same token, okay, that was California voters, not everyone across the whole United States. And again, I want to say this. Gavin still has to run. Kamala still has to run. Anyone else still has to run. So technically, it's anybody's game. So why are we saying like somebody should or should not run? Like everybody can run.
Potentially running in 2028. And as you heard there too, Kamala Harris is not saying she's not going to run, which means she's probably running. Let's just be honest. I don't know. One thing I like is Gavin Newsom is like, hey, I'm not going to lie to you. And Kamala Harris is playing coy. Now, I wrote this on Threads yesterday, or 2 days ago, actually, when this news came out about Kamala Harris. And I got a lot of pushback, a lot of people attacking me for my race, calling me, you know, a privileged white guy. You entitled white men never cease to showcase it. You are the reason why we're in the position to begin with. I'm so sick of entitled privileged white men. I truly don't understand that reaction to what I wrote, when all I wrote was, when she was announcing that she may run for president, is that I feel like she could have been leading rather than selling a book. I'm disappointed in her post-election decision, because the reason why I wrote that is because Kamala Harris told us that fascism was at the door, that elections may not be free or fair, that Donald Trump will attack our freedoms if given the opportunity, and he's done all those things. And so I kind of felt like if Kamala Harris really meant what she said, regardless of whether or not she were to win, she would fill the vacuum of leadership we would need to be the counteracting force to Donald Trump's anti-democratic tendencies. When Donald
So, you know, when a presidential candidate loses, do they then continue to run? Like, what would she be running for? And again, she was still vice president at the time, so she still had a job to do. And then after, you know, the 20th of January, 20 or 21st, she's back to being a private citizen, which she has been this whole time. But she doesn't hold any power. She doesn't hold anything. Like, what did you want her to do? And now let's fast forward to today. She doesn't have the Secret Service. She had to get her own protection. I noticed that a lot of people are all like, oh, how come she wasn't out there on No King's Day, but Doug was out there? Did we forget what happened to Charlie Kirk? You think people aren't doing the... Come on now. I don't even want to say the words, but we got to think about it. Let's go ahead and read some of the threads that people were posting when they was eating his ass up. And rightfully so. They should be eating you up because, like, why is there such a different standard for everyone else? You know, when it comes to Kamala, oh, she needed to be out here. But then in the same breath, they'll be like, oh, we need to move on from Kamala. We don't want her nowhere near. And then you'll hear the same people be all like, she needs to be out there fighting instead of selling a book. Okay, well, she can't fight and sell a book. She can't make money and still try to protect democracy. She's been telling us that she's going to be out there talking to the people, trying to make sure that we win the midterm. She's already said this. You're choosing not to pay attention to it. So this is the first one. It says the country voted for literally the worst possible candidate in American history over her. She does not owe you, me, or anybody else a effing thing. Ding, 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 ding. And mind you, these are just more than just black people eating his ass up, which they should. She lost her Secret Service protection, and you want a black woman to run around with a giant target on her back? You go first. Thank you, Elaine. Thank you. And that is a Caucasian. Well, I don't know what she is, but she's not black. Sam says, the way white people want Kamala to save them after y'all voted against her is crazy. That is crazy. Y'all want her to be out there windmilling and doing everything, but it's all like, okay, well, she would have been windmilling for us and fighting for us if you had voted her in, right? This one, the F do you want her to lead, Keith? A parade? And let's just be honest, the No Kings parade, the No Kings protests, I don't know what they're doing. I honestly don't know what they're doing. Did any change come about? That's all theater. That's all dramatics. I don't see no change, no policies being created. Y'all out there marching for nothing. White liberals have been proving there is really no difference between them and their MAGA relatives. Ooh, that one hits. Because you've been noticing a lot, and I don't know if you guys have, but I've been noticing a lot. They be like, yeah, identity politics and da-da-da. And whenever they're saying identity politics, they're talking about black people. And when they say the working class, they're not talking about black people. Identity politics, they're talking about black people saying, oh, we need to stay away from that. You know, we need to appease the white people. And when they say working class, that's their way of saying white people, even though black people are a part of the working class. You see how that, so again, pay attention to their words. And then this one was good. I like this comment. I'm going to leave it on this one. The first step to leading is by setting the record straight. Her memoir specifically is about taking back the narrative surrounding her life and decisions. Something she had didn't fully control over as a VP. I mean, she literally says this in the book. Perhaps you should read it before judging her. And the funny part is, a lot of people who question Kamala's motives and why she's doing this and that did not read the book. They're literally reading the headlines or they read the excerpts, but they did not read the book. She thoroughly explains how she was literally in the fight trying to make sure that misinformation wasn't put out there, that the White House was trying to clear her name of all the rumors and all the nasty things that people were saying, and they weren't helping her. Literally, Joe Biden was sabotaging her by calling her the day of the debate talking about, oh, I heard you've been talking about me and, don't put any light between us. Like, we need to stick together and all this stuff. So literally you have people in the background working against her while she's running, and she only had 107 days. And basically the memoir was to clear her name. And not just to clear her name, but to be honest about what happened, because people want to know. So she told her story, and she has every right to, because at the end of the day, say if she came out and she was talking about, oh yeah, I'm gonna run again, people be like, well, wait, you ain't cleared up this, that, and that, and this. She's clearing it up. Because again, you're not gonna, like she said before, you're not gonna tell her story without her voice. There have already been like 3 or 4 books about the election before Kamala even released hers. She has every right to tell her side of the story. Keith, and anyone else who got a problem.
Trump lost in 2020. He did not go away. He was like a shark out to water, looming. I don't know why we didn't have that on our side. But instead, and this is totally within her right to do, and people say she's a private citizen. I suppose that's right. She is a private citizen. Private citizens still have the ability to leave. But she decided to make millions and millions of dollars selling a book rather than helping us fight.
Hey, get your ass up there and do it. Like, that's the thing. Like, get your ass up out there and do it. Oh, you should be leading and doing that. Then you do it.
There was a real vacuum leadership in November. Still is. That's one reason why I'm grateful Gavin Newsom stepped up, because he said he's been saying stuff like this.
You can lose this country. No bullshit. It's not the rule of law anymore. It's the rule of Don.
Right.
He doesn't give a shit about the law. Right. I mean, he's already taken, Congress doesn't exist. They're completely supine. They're on their back. Yes, and sir, what else do you need?
Crazy.
The courts are increasingly the same.
Crazy.
I mean, this whole system, 3 co-equal branches, guy, I ain't even gonna get this. I do remember even with 960 SAT, that they taught us in 7th grade, 3 co-equal branches of government, popular sovereignty, rule of law, oversight. That's gone, man. This guy is wrecking this country. And again, it's not about being Democrat or Republican. I married into a big Republican family. I have deep respect and love for people I disagree with. On our podcast, I had Charlie Kirk on, had Steve Bannon on, I had guys that were running my recall campaigns, literally the people like Newt Gingrich that were literally leading the effort to get me recalled as governor. I want to reach out to folks I disagree with, man.
Understand them.
But at the same time, we have to understand these guys aren't fucking around.
I know.
They're not fucking around.
So yeah, I kind of like that there's someone that doesn't.
And Kamala Harris let us know that these motherfuckers are crazy. So, I mean, everybody says the F word. Like, I don't know what's the difference. But here's the thing between Gavin and Kamala, which everything Gavin was saying, I don't disagree with, except having Charlie Kirk on his podcast. That was weird. But what I will say is that he is still governor of California. He still has a position of power. He can implement policies just like how we have Prop 50, which, yes, vote yes on Prop 50. However, I just want to say this, Gavin, go ahead and gerrymander the shit out of California. We don't need no vote. Just do it. But I know the optics are like, oh, well, I gave the power to the people and I just didn't do it on my own. I get where he's going with it, but still, just do it. But again, he is governor. He is in some position of power. He is not a private citizen.
Feel like there are many people actually really naming what's happening right now. And so I didn't really mean to make this about the fact that I'm disappointed in Kamala Harris. I hope you can respect the fact that I'm allowed to feel however I feel about someone. And I kind of feel like when
you can, and we can drag you like we're doing now.
You run for president and you understand the severity of the situation we're in, and then you just decide to sell a book. That doesn't sit right with me. And that's just me. And maybe you're going to disagree. That's totally fine if you do. I do think a lot of folks might agree with me that that there was a leadership vacuum and there didn't need to be one. Project 2025 was called Project 2020. We knew about it in 2024, okay? Project 2025 should not have been a surprise. The things that they wanted to do, the things that they're doing right now. But for some reason, Democratic leadership acted like they didn't know why any of this was happening. When we had the blueprint early on. We had from November.
No. Kamala warned us about Project 2025. And here's the thing, what they'll do is like, oh, no one warned us, nobody told us. Kamala literally talked about Project 2025 every time she got on stage. He doesn't know what Project 2025 is. Even on Kamala's website when she was running for president, showed you her policies versus what it said in Project 2025. There was a lot of warnings about Project 2025. It's just that people, probably people in Keith's family, because here's the other thing too. It's like these same people, and I'm just going to put it out there, Caucasians, want to preach to us about what we need to do, but they won't have these conversations with their family. Did I say something wrong? Again, they will preach to us, but they won't have these same conversations with their family, the people who are voting for Trump. I'll tell you.
To January, November, to whenever, to create a attack plan, a defense plan. And none of that happened. So yeah, I'm a little disappointed, to be completely honest. And I don't think it's because I'm white. I just don't understand that. We have to move past this thing, this like knee-jerk reaction some people have online, that if someone says something you disagree with, it's because they're racist or because they're white or it's because they look a certain way. That to me is just not progressive. It's not helpful. And it's actually doing the exact thing you're accusing someone else of being. All right, and here's Gavin Newsom talking about what...
Okay, I'm pretty much done with that. But here's the thing, when he's all like, oh, that's not progressive to try to bash a white person for that. No one was calling him a racist at all. No one called him a racist. If anything, people were trying to pull you in and talk about how insensitive it was to be all like, oh, you need to be out there. I'm disappointed she's out there selling a book and no. Sir. A part of her selling the book is clearing her name and telling people what happened. And basically, this is the blueprint for her run in 2028. Because let's take this from Gavin and Kamala. They can stop with the semantics. Obviously, they're running, right? But with Kamala, this is the blueprint. Like, hey, this is what happened. This is why it didn't work. And then this is what I plan on doing moving forward. If you read the book, you would understand that. And so, you know, again, with the standards of like, oh, she needs to be out there fighting for us and doing this. So you want the Black woman out there risking her life, quote unquote, fighting for us. But what would she be doing? Like, she can literally what she's doing on her book tour is talking about what's going on right now currently in our country. So she's doing the right thing. I don't know if you expect her to get on a stage or do like the one commenter said, do a parade. Like, that's just for show. Just like the oligarchy tour with AOC and Bernie. Basically, that tour that they were doing was just about telling people like, oh, you should run for government. We need younger people to run. But it didn't implement any policies. It didn't like really change anything. Like, I don't think like it got the Trump voters to be like, oh, you know what? I made a mistake. Let me change my mind. If anything, that was just for Bernie's ego. Y'all, let me know what you think in the comment section. A few things. Do you think that Kamala and Gavin Newsom are running? Do you want Kamala? Do you want Gavin? Who do you want in 2028? And don't put no Bernie Sanders in there. But also, let's talk about like, should Kamala not be selling a book and be out there fighting for the people? It's just all weird to me how we're holding her to a different standard. And that's what the issue is, holding her to a different standard than everybody else. Like, what presidential candidate is still out there fighting after they don't get the job? You want her to work for free? Oh, nah. Let me get out of here, y'all. All right. Love y'all. Deuces.